Welcome to the show. This is Kletus Ray's Road Service. Of course, I don't have a fucking bottle of water ready. I hit go, and I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to record. I hit go, and I don't have a fucking water bottle ready. I'm gonna have to chug this bitch. Thought I saw a damn ghost while I was chugging that water. I paused it so you guys wouldn't have to hear it. Hear the little chuglets, or whatever you want to call it. I thought I just saw a ghost. We got a guy. He works in the shop here at my current job, and he's got a couple of little screws that ain't too tight. You know, I wouldn't say they're loose; they're just not tight. And he's in and out, and you know, sometimes he needs a couple of months off while he's figuring things out or whatever. And he's such a nice guy. He is such a wonderful person. He's not, you know, uh, the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin. He ain't that. But for Kansas City, I would say he probably is. It's between him and another guy I used to work with a long time ago. His name was Mikey, and Mikey was the nicest guy that you could ever imagine. Anyways, he's super nice too, and it's fun to talk about shit with him. What do we got going on here? What the hell we got going on here? People are stopped for no reason. Anyways, it's like somebody might have fallen asleep. They slowed down for the railroad track, but then they got real tired and they fell asleep. You know, and this gravel lot that we got over here, it's really deceptive, especially early, like whenever it's dark out, like it is right now, and you're leaving, and you first get up on the highway and you look in your rearview mirror, and you see all this dust going everywhere. You're like, I hope it's dust. I hope I'm not smoking a brake or dragging a fucking tire or something. Because yeah, you could drag a tire pretty easy on these things. And then brakes decide to freeze up one of them. Anyways, it's just gravel dust blowing off. It goes away. But like if somebody gets behind you and they got their headlights and it just looks like it's like, holy shit, am I on fire? Nope, just some gravel dust. See, now it's clear. Now we're clear as we could be. All right, I was gonna let you go, but you wanted to wait. All right, cool. We're getting up here on the road. We're starting to roll around right now. You know, we're still getting prepared for the day, I guess. I don't know. Got a lot of other sleepy motherfuckers out here driving around. I'm not sleepy. I got a pretty good night's sleep. And I woke up, no alarms. I didn't set any alarms last night. That is something I'm going to need to get a hold of, is making sure I set these fucking alarms. Because I didn't set one fucking alarm, but I woke up to my fucking dog throwing up. My dog was throwing up on the floor. I was like, what the hell? I was like, all right, I guess I'm awake. It's 4 a.m. It's not 4 a.m. right now. It is 6:30. Or 6:20. Close enough. But I'm glad I was able to get up and get out here and get going. I ripped a fucking mud flap off. These fucking guys, where I go to offload, they're backing you up. They're like, come on, back it up, back it up, back it up. And then they wait until you hit this fucking wall. And I'm telling you, every time I hit that wall, it rips the fucking, just a little bit of movement. It rips the fucking mud flaps clean off. There's nothing you can do about it unless you stop before the wall. But if they're telling you to keep backing up, you keep backing up. And then as soon as you it takes so little pressure to rip these fucking mud flaps off. It's insane. And I'm like, these fucking guys are really annoying the fuck out of me, having me back up too goddamn far. because they want me to back up as far as possible. So most of the liquid, which usually it will, no matter what, but most of the liquid is going in the pit. As you know, just to be sure, they're like, let's just back them up as far as we possibly can, so we know it's gonna go in the pit. And it's like, hey man, I'm ripping off mud flaps every fucking time. I gotta drive from Winoka, Oklahoma up to Kansas City with no goddamn mud flaps on every time you back me up too far. And then I gotta, I normally when you rip off a mud flap, I'll ride it up, but it don't get fixed, because they're like, oh, especially on a Friday, it ain't gonna get fixed until Monday morning, or I can just say, you know what, I think it's fine. I'm just gonna fucking roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it. Who gives a fuck? I'll bungee cord some shit up there and it'll be fine. Uh, which, as long as the mud flap is there and it's not gonna fall off, nobody can really give you too much shit about it. It's not. But anyways, I showed up today. I didn't even do like a full pre-trip at the beginning of the day. Like when I first got here, I opened up. I parked my truck up front, which normally I'll park it out back, just so I don't have to walk as far. But I decided, what, I got to go through the main shop, so I'm gonna park up front, walk through the main shop. I gotta grab a hoodie because both of my other hoodies that I've been wearing, when I ride my bike, are dirty. And I drove the truck today because I thought it was going to be really fucking cold because it was really fucking cold yesterday. Turns out, no. I got in the truck and I started driving. I was like, actually, it's not that bad out. I should have rode the fucking bike. That would have been a smart move today. But, I don't know. Leaving the bike, I trust the bike, but I tell you what, there's the tire, going bad on that motherfucker has really annoyed the hell out of me. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to trust it. I believe I had the tire professionally installed with a heavy duty tube. He said, "You want light duty or heavy duty?" I said, "Who do you think you're talking to? Give me the heavy duty tube, motherfucker." Okay. Another $30 gone plus 15. Got the fucking tire good. It's good. But I don't know. I just didn't feel like riding it. I mean, I always feel like riding it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. When I woke up this morning, I said, I think it's going to be cold as fuck outside. I'm just going to drive the truck. I don't want to freeze. I want to turn on the heat. One of the things the truck is really good about doing is heating up. So, hey, I'm going to use it to its advantage today since it's going to be cold out. It is 56 degrees. It ain't cold. I mean, it's cold, but it ain't like yesterday it was really fucking, it was like 30 something, maybe 40. I don't know. I didn't go outside for a while. But yeah, so I walked through the main shop and I start leaving doors open. I'm that guy. I'm leaving doors open because you know what? Fumbling with your fucking keys every fucking 30 feet is annoying as fuck. Because right now the shop is under construction. They're adding an office inside of it, and all of our doors they're locked all the time. So you got to use a key to open every fucking door in the place if it's shut. But I walk through, I open up the garage door, I walk over, I open up the main door, I prop that motherfucker open, I go inside, I grab a hoodie, I walk into the other secondary shop, I grab a case of water because they decided to move. The cases of water used to be right at the front of the main shop. And they decided, you know what, we don't want this here no more, which is really not fun. So because I don't know, it's just more doors and further away that you got to go. You used to be able to hop out of your truck, and the garage door would normally be open. You walk in there, you just grab a case, walk out, throw it in your truck, and you're gone. No, now I got to walk around this whole fucking complex with it. I mean, I don't know. I'm complaining here because I'm looking for something to complain about. Anyways, walk over there, leave that door, prop it open, grab a case of water, go over, open up another garage door, work my way down to the lower building. It's building number 7. I don't know. It's far, far away. It's the furthest building we have. We do have like some sheds, not sheds, but like lean-tos, just covered storage out back, way up on the hill. I ain't going that far. There ain't nothing up there for me. That's where we store like extra hoses, flex hose, and since we're hauling all that trash down to Tulsa, we got a staging area back there where we got waste management guys dropping off full dumpsters and picking up empties to take them to go fill them up. Instead of staging them at their shop, we said, hey, we'll do it at our shop. We got the room. And it's pretty convenient for our guys, because they got to get loaded and drop off at home base instead of having to drive across town or whatever, because they got a long drive. They still got shit they got to do, but they can log out of the truck once they get on company property and not take away from their drive time and shit. But anyways, we get down to the lower building finally. I got a case of water, wearing my hoodie, got my backpack, I got all my shit with me. Open up that door. Open up the garage door, crack the hood on the old Kenworth, and do a quick little walk around. Low on oil. No puddle underneath. Low on oil. All right. Well, we got some sort of a consumption issue going on here. I don't know what it is. It's not in the coolant. The coolant's nice and clean. So, anyways, and I do remember, well, obviously I remember, I ripped a mud flap off on Friday. So I said, all right, well, I'm not even going to do a full pre-trip right now. I'm going to get the truck yanked up to the main shop where all the tools and parts are so I can get this fucking mud flap replaced. So I drive it up there, and right as I was walking, somebody had the garage door opened, and they shut it right in front of me. I'm like, motherfucker, I've left so many goddamn doors open, even doors in this building, so I wouldn't have to use my fucking key. But now I got to use my goddamn key. So I go over, I open up the door, I walk up to one of the mechanics. Surprisingly, he was here. Usually he's not rolling in until 6:37, and 6:30 or 7, not 6:37 to be exact. I'm not that fucking type of guy. Anyways, we walk over there. I say, hey man, because we have a community toolbox that's like, because mechanics own all their tools. They have all their tools locked up. That's theirs. Don't touch them. We have a community toolbox. They decided to move the community toolbox all the way in the corner of one of the back buildings. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and it's blocked in by trailers. We have trailers that have pressure washers loaded on them. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 of them parked in that building, and the toolbox is up there in the back wall, up against the air compressor. And it's like, God damn, gotta. I'm like, hey, instead of me going looking for tools, Mr. Mechanic Man, can I just have some real quick? I just got to replace the mud flap. I already grabbed the new mud flap up off the shelf. I'm ready to go. And then I grabbed a jug of oil and start heading that way. And then the other mechanic walks out that closed the door on me. He walks over. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I got a fucking mud flap I got to replace. He's like, did you do a pre-trip? I'm like, I haven't done one yet. I'm going to do one after I get the mud flap done. I'm like, I got to get this shit fixed. If I do a pre-trip now, I got to mark it as it's not fixed. I got to fix it, and then I can mark it as everything's good. He's like, well, you should do a pre-trip first. I'm like, that, okay, I mean, I will. He's like, yeah, and if you do a pre-trip first, you'll see that I fixed your fucking mud flap on Friday. Or probably not Friday, probably Saturday. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, here, take all this fucking bullshit and take it back in the shop. I'm like, I gotta go. I got shit I gotta do. And he's like, all right. I'm like, thank you so much for fixing that. I didn't think it would have got fixed, that quickly. He's like, I'll fix it. I'm like, all right. I mean, I've wrote up a lot of shit in the past And, every time I get in the truck, it's still not fucking fixed. But most of the shit, if I ride it up and it is debilitating to the truck, I will write it up and go talk to a mechanic or pull the truck to the mechanic and say, hey, drop what you're doing, fix this. But if it's a mud flap or whatever, it's like, I'm not gonna waste my time going over and saying, hey, this fucking mud flap is fucked up, blah 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 blah. So anyways, I just wrote it up, and I didn't realize that he was gonna look in the system and see it, and actually have time to go out and get it taken care of. What a nice guy. Now, I'm probably going to rip both of them off today, because I'm going to do the same fucking thing. I'm like, can you just cut them a little shorter? He's like, I really can't, they got to be a certain distance. I'm like, I understand. If they were just a little bit shorter, I think I'd be fine when I back up. But anyways, we're, got loaded up with, all my shit, got the truck pre-tripped, added my oil, and, walked in the office. And of course, my boss is sitting there, and he knows. After our last conversation, he knows. He's like, I ain't gonna give him any shit today. I walk in, he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, doing pretty good. Usually, he calls me a name, which is fine because I like the silliness and funness of being, you know, having a boss that's willing to play around with you. Um, so usually he'll be like, oh, Special K or some shit. Fucking, I know it's not. It probably shouldn't be that way, but it's kind of fun, whatever. And I like to think that he doesn't think of me as being a fucking special ed motherfucker. I'm pretty good, but having a funny name is whatever, I guess. Anyways, he didn't call me a special name or anything. He just said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm doing good. He's like, you grabbing your paperwork? I'm like, yeah, I am. Adios. And I grab my shit and I fucking head out the fucking door. Because last time I talked to him, he's like, are you getting burnt out? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Getting real fucking burnt out. Really having a hard time enjoying work here. I'm doing this job, so I am happy today. Today, for the rest of the week, I believe, I'm going to be happy. Everything's going to be great. But this job isn't going to last forever. And the jobs that I'm going to get when this job isn't going are not going to be fun. So I'm about, I want to say 80, but probably 70% sure I'm going to be moving on November 1st. 70% sure. That's a high percentage. That's a high likelihood. 70% chance of rain, you're probably going to get rained on. But you might not, you know. So 70% chance I'm going to be moving on. 30% chance I'll be showing back up on November 1st or November 3rd, I think is what it's going to be. November 3rd, ready to work, do whatever the fuck he says, and probably just continue to be unhappy. Um, every time something bad happens or something that doesn't go the way I'd like it to go. I try to be pretty reasonable, though. Sometimes things don't go the way they should. But whenever it's like, I feel like I'm really being picked on here. Okay, I feel like I'm last picked for all the good jobs, other than this one, because nobody else there. Everybody else that's done this job is gone, or they're a project manager now. They got to run a crew. I'm the only guy that has done this job that is proficient in it. And that really wants to do it because everybody else wants to go home every night. And I'm like, I like going home every night. I do. That's going to sound really shitty if I say, no, I like to be away from my wife and kids and dogs and whatnot. I like to be away. No, that's not the thing. I like getting the money. I like, I like working as long as I possibly can that I have to stay in a hotel and then I collect per diem. That's what I like about it. We're going to go We're gonna go. We're gonna go the regular highway. Right here, I have a choice. I could go down. I could take a smaller highway, has slower speeds, and it would take longer. It makes no sense. But there's less traffic and less bullshit, and it's more of a straight shot. But we'll go ahead and take the main highway. So, anyways, over the weekend, we had a pretty good weekend. My wife, I'm probably going to be jumping over a bunch of shit here, but Sunday she had a football game to go to. She wanted to go see the chefs or whatever. I don't know, hibachi chefs or whatever. I don't know. The red football team, they got the Barbie doll girl and that Ken doll. And they're out there fucking throwing the old pig skin around, is what they say. And I don't know. They got good food, I'll tell you that. Them guys that play the football and like to watch it, they like food like I do. They like the football. It seems like they might like the football more than the food. I don't know. But I like the food way more than the football. I don't care about football. Oh, they lost? All right. No, they actually won. They won in a landslide, is what I heard. I spent about 6 minutes trying to find out how to watch the game. 6 minutes is not worth it. You know, it's like I could have been watching I could have been halfway through a YouTube video instead of searching around trying to figure out how to watch something I don't want to see. You know. But my wife was there, so I wanted to, and I had the kids, so I was like, I should probably find. What if she does go up on the jumbotron or something? And then she's like, "Did you see me?" I'm like, "I actually didn't. Couldn't find the game." She would be disappointed. But anyway, she didn't get on the jumbotron, and I couldn't find the game, so everything's fine. But anyways, she decided to take off because they were going to go tailgate, do early deal tailgating. So she's like, "Hey, Saturday night around probably 6 o'clock." She's like, "I'm going to go ahead and head over to her mom's house because she's going with her stepdad." She's like, "I'm going to head over to my mama's house and sleep the night over there, and so she doesn't have to get ready and everything." And because they're heading out to tailgate around 7, and I'm like, "Well, you know, I'm just trying to help you out. So if you don't like this idea, tell me. But if you wanted to stay the night at home with us and then get ready in the morning, I could drive you up there in your car and drop you off. And then you could walk to the tailgate and then ride home with them." She's like, she thought that was the most insane idea I'd ever had in my life. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "All right. I mean, you're tailgating from 7 a.m. until noon. Oh, big bump." I'm like, unless you really want to be there at 7 a.m. and help them set up and, you know, and have to wait for food to get ready and then sit there and be cold. And I don't know if I don't know. They take football seriously. Maybe somebody might yell at you. I don't know. Like, rather than just show up and everything's ready to go, you just show up, eat some food, you're ready, you had a nice sleep in your own bed, and then you're good to go. She said, "Nah." I said, "All right, see you later." So she took off. I said, "I ain't gonna try to make this make any more sense at all." I was like, "We could stop and get you breakfast on your way, you know, all kinds of good stuff." Nope, she didn't want it. So that's fine. I didn't mind. I ended up sitting there with the kids. We had a movie night. Yeah, popcorn and movies. We watched Gabby's Dollhouse movie that just came out. Rented that bitch for fucking 20 goddamn dollars. And then we had bought the Minecraft movie a while back because we had to watch it. I don't like buying movies and stuff because I don't think you're technically buying them. Yeah, they're going to be on there forever, but what if they decide to just take it off and they're not going to give you a refund. You're fucked. It's like we're paying for this subscription, and then we're paying to rent a movie or buy a movie, and then they could just take that shit away whenever the fuck they want. It's all digital. It's like I have to have a fucking app to watch it. But whatever, I guess it makes sense. We have, since the DVDs have really gone out of style, and the movie theater has gone out of style, we have spent so little amount of money on movies and stuff. And that shows, it shows the movie industry is dying. They're having a really hard time. Their projections are all thrown off. So I said, all right, we can buy and rent movies, but not all the fucking time. We're not doing this once a week or whatever. This is like once every quarter of the year or whatever. We might rent or buy a movie. I rented one the other night. It was for $3.75. I said, I think I can handle that. It was a movie I wanted to watch, and I was laying in a hotel. I forget what movie it was. But we watched Minecraft, and then Gabby Dollhouse, then Minecraft. Had a great time with the kids running around. We played board games. They did crafts. We just kind of hung around the house, and then Saturday night, they wanted to sleep with me in the bed. They were both crying about monsters under the bed or whatever. I'm like, I know you guys are just fucking around, but you know what? I'm not going to even put energy into going against you. Fine, you can sleep in the bed. So we all slept in the big bed in the bedroom, and surprisingly, they went out fucking quick. I fell asleep, they fell asleep, everybody slept the whole fucking night. They woke me up at 7 a.m., which is perfect, and we got up, and we had, I don't know, I didn't, like, make them breakfast, because most of the time, if you make breakfast, they're not going to eat it. It's got to be their idea. So I was like, you guys can have, I can make your breakfast, or we can, you can eat whatever the fuck you want, I guess. And I don't know. I don't even remember them eating breakfast, really. So maybe I'm not such a great dad in that aspect. But they were happy. They were happy as hell. And then it was like 10 o'clock coming around. And I said, you know what? We're going to actually do a good lunch, though. I was like, what could we have for lunch? And I said, I will grill hot dogs. You guys want some hot dogs? They said, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I loaded them up in the pickup truck with no blinkers still. I kind of had a plan this weekend to dig into that and work on it. None of that happened. None of that happened. And ran them up to the grocery store. My daughter has been so upset lately because I took my son to the grocery store the other day, and my daughter was sick, and I said, you can't go, you're sick. She said, okay. I said, I'll take you to the store when you're feeling better. She's been feeling better for a few days now, and she has been on my ass, and it's usually right around bedtime. She's like, I want to go to the grocery store. I'm like, what for? She's like, I don't know. I want to go. You told me you would take me. I'm like, okay. So luckily everything worked out. I was like, all right, we're going to the grocery store. Super excited. All the kids are jumping around. They're hooping, hollering. I'm the hero of the day. So loaded them up, took them to the grocery store, spent way too much money. Probably, $50. We had hot dogs, like the little tiny fucking bullshit hot dogs. But, so I was like, we got to get a pack of. Yeah, and I think I've noticed that before, but when I turn the paperwork in, they are happy with it, so I don't know. Is that what you have in the past?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the one that's the important one.
Yeah.
But I don't know how important that land disposal form is.
It's very important. You were like the only two guys here that can do it.
3. We got one more.
This one?
Or any of
Yeah.
them. So, all right. Well, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you down to 43 inside. By the end of the week, that one should be emptied and can be moved even before it's clean. But I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't have a containment in it, so I don't know. I don't know if that was what was going on with that.
Why there's not a containment?
Yeah.
Because that whole building's in containment.
Okay.
As well. I asked the same question.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. They can clean that outside if that would be preferable, most
Yeah,
likely.
we're just trying to get out of the way for the hours. So
Yeah.
that works. All that, everything you just said works.
Yeah, and even shoot, maybe even after my next load, they can probably pull it out.
We
but,
got plenty of time. But
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Better not be a problem.
I think I left off on bananas. What was the fuck I was talking about? Anyways, I got a phone call in the middle of that, and it ended up being a long conversation. And I don't know if there might have been some dead air there. I'm so sorry. I might have to redo this episode. Should I redo the? No, you guys are fine. Sorry if there was. I don't know. I'll go through and I'll see if there is. I'll try to edit it and try to figure it out. Anyways, what was I fucking talking about? My wife going to the football, eating food. Man, I'm real lost now. I figured it out. I went back and I listened. So I don't know what the fuck happened with the record. Oh, I do know what happened with the recording. I was recording. I was about to start talking about hot dogs, and then I got a phone call, and then I was on the phone all the way up until I got to the place where I'm at, and then as soon as I got here and I got off the phone call, I turned off my headset and it stopped the recording, and then for some reason it started recording again. When I was in the middle of a conversation, right, I made a phone call, and right after I got off that phone call, it started recording. You heard my pocket and all kinds of other shit going on. So sorry about that. I'm leaving it in. Okay, I'm trying to make this easy on myself. And you know what, you guys, all you got to do is sit back and listen, okay? Because I ain't fixing it. I ain't fixing that shit at all. I do got to get my phone charger out. This phone is about to die. I had it charged up. I don't know what the hell's going on. I was talking about hot dogs. I went to the hot dog store and got hot dogs. Interesting, right? You guys want to hear about the hot dogs? I don't know. Anyways, we went back to my house with the kids after we picked up a bunch of bullshit, spent way too much money, and we got I got some good hot dogs instead of them little bitch hot dogs. Are we charging? Yeah. And went home, grilled them up, used my grill. I haven't used my grill in a while. My grill, I got a different grill. It's in the bed of my truck currently. And I just have not had the motivation to go out and take it out and put it up on my deck. I don't think my deck can really support another grill. It was kind of scary where I got the grill right now. I was like, damn, this deck is shaky as fuck. I got all the weight of that is on the deck, is on the edge, and it's fucking shaky. I don't think I'm going to fall down. Well, whenever I got the kids and the dogs and they're running around on the fucking deck, and I'm like, hey, we're all gonna be on the ground if you don't settle the fuck off. Like, get closer to the house or walk on the stair, go down the stair, get in the yard. This deck is going down, and you got a hot ass grill right here too. But anyways, yeah, grilled up them hot dogs. Kids wanted to eat outside. I did mow. Did I talk about that? I mowed. I forget which day I mowed, but I mowed. The yard is as good as it's gonna get. I don't think I see anybody coming. I had some trees that I cut. I was on the other side of the fence, the outside of the fence, and I cut them, and then they laid over on the inside of the fence. But I didn't get them all cut. Some of them are going like through the fence and shit. And that's a snake tree. That's what it was. All them snakes are gone now. I didn't see any signs of a snake, which was nice. And I tried to get all them branches cleaned up. Instead of having one pile, now I have 3 piles of branches throughout my yard. And I really was thinking about firing up that fire pit and roasting them, but I decided not to. So anyways, yeah, we had a good day. We had a really good day, me and the kids, and we hung out all day. We played more games. We had a decent lunch, and then Mom came home about 4, I guess, around 4 probably. And then I went and I picked up pizza. She was like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I am too. What do you want? She's like, I don't care, but I ain't cooking. And I had gone through the freezers. We haven't gone to go to the grocery store quite yet. But I've gone through the freezers. I don't want chicken. I don't want breaded chicken at home. Chicken strips, chicken nuggets, chicken patties, chicken fillets. We have every type of chicken you can imagine. We even have, raw chicken, whole chicken, chicken wings. We have everything. It's all frozen, so those don't really do me no good. But then, just the chicken strips and shit, I don't know. I don't want to eat those. I'm going to leave those for you guys. You guys don't buy any fucking chicken, ever. Ever. We're good till the end of the year on chicken, which is only a few months, but that's still a lot of chicken. We didn't have anything. We didn't even have a frozen motherfucking pizza. We didn't have shit. So I said, I'm going over to Domino's. We usually go Papa John's. I said, you know what? I want Domino's. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want Papa John's. I've had Papa John's. We've eaten Papa John's. Papa John's been in the house. I want Domino's. Domino's, I don't know. Papa John's got some stuff, good stuff, but Domino's has also got some good stuff. We're going to Domino's. And listen to this. I'm a big fucking idiot. She's like, you order it. I'm not a part of this. Just get food here. I'm like, okay. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, baby. I'll take care of it. I know how to do it. I can order a pizza. So I get online, I order me a New York style large pizza, pepperoni, extravaganza, or whatever the fuck it's called. I ordered a Pizza roll. I don't know. They got like breaded, stuffed, cheesy bread with pepperonis and shit. Ordered one of those. My son, he was begging for fettuccine alfredo. I was like, when? All right, I will get it for you. I just don't know why you want it so bad, but I will get it for you. And they have fettuccine alfredo there, and that's kind of what got me to Domino's, anyways. And then they have a pack of 3 lava cakes. They got little lava cakes. I said, that's perfect. You know, mom have one, I have one, and the kids can split one because they're kids. And they get the split. Ordered. Everything was good. But no, everything wasn't good. I ordered, and then I said, all right, yep, the pizza will be ready in just a little bit. She's like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'll go get it. She's like, how much was it? I said it was like 40 some bucks with tax and everything. She's like, $40? All of those things that you ordered should have been on the $6.99 menu. I'm like, the $6.99 menu? She's like, yeah. I'm like, where the fuck is the $6.99 menu? I got back on the website, scroll down, okay? Apparently you got to scroll down a little bit, and then it's like, oh, mix and match 4 items for $6.99 each. Guess what? Every fucking thing I ordered was on there and would have been $30. There would have been a little bit less because you can't do a large New York style. It's got to be a medium New York style. Listen, I paid an extra $15 to have a pizza be a little bit bigger. That's what fucking happened right there. I paid $8.99 for the fucking pasta. Could have been $6. You know, there should be a fucking, with the AI these days, they're talking, AI is going to take over. Hey, rework my pizza order. Whenever I type in all the shit that I want on my pizza order, hey, maybe just like a little clippy, like, you know, whenever you were using Word and a little clip, paperclip guy would pop up and he's like, hey, do you want to make some of these corrections here? We need one of those for the Domino's website. Hey, you can save a lot of money if you just click the same items on this button versus that button. Hey, first off, why are there 2 different buttons? If you're selling shit for $6.99, why not? Why do I have the option to pay $2 more with this other button? What the fuck is going on here? But you know what? I already had hit order, and I said, you know what? We're going to take the L. You know, I'm over here talking about how I need to save all this money and shit, and then I'm just over here blowing $15. And I'm pretty sure I probably could have talked to somebody and got it brought down and been like, hey, yeah, just make that pizza a little bit smaller and I'll be fine, you know, something like that. No, I fucked up. I fucked up big time on ordering pizza. She's like, I'm never letting you order pizza again. I'm like, good. I didn't want to do it anyways. I thought I would be good at it. She's like, well, why wouldn't you check the $6.99 menu? I'm like, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It's insane that on the same website you could pay $15 more for the same shit if you just click the wrong buttons. But I went and picked it up, and I said, you know what? I think maybe the workers realized that they're like, hey, this fucking idiot is paying extra for all this shit. He's paying us an extra $15 for this. Let's make it good for him. You think that's what they said? No. I mean, it was fine. It was a good pizza. That New York crust, I actually do like that. That was a little bit different. That's something I would never normally click, but I decided to click it, and it turned out to be pretty fucking good. And then the pasta, my son ate almost a whole bowl of pasta. The pizza dough bread, my wife was like, holy shit, we're going to Domino's from now on. I'm like, yeah, and if you use the $6.99 menu, guess what? You can mix and match 4 items. You can do all 4 pizza breads. You know? You could do that. But anyways, I don't know, spending $47 on me and my family to eat dinner. It's been worse before, so I mean, it wasn't pizza, and I was still, I was like eyeing, because I would get my own pizza, and I didn't really have that option this time. My son wanted some of the pizza, my daughter wanted some of the pizza, my wife wanted some of the pizza, and I'm like, normally I eat the whole pizza. But I'm not over here like being stingy or whatever. I'm like, here, have a slice. I left 2 slices for the wife and 3 slices of the cheesy bread for her. And I was still like starving. But instead of complaining or eyeing my kids' food and stuff, I went to the fridge and I grabbed a bucket of cottage cheese and I just slopped that fucking mess into my mouth. I slobbered up that cottage cheese real nice and good, like. And it was good. I liked it. I did eat my son's crust. My son doesn't like to eat the crust. I said, give me that fucking crust, boy. I'm dipping that into that cottage cheese. Goodness. And then the lava cakes. The lava cakes, you can tell they just threw them in the microwave or whatever. But they were still pretty good. I mean, maybe they don't microwave them. They might actually throw them like through the pizza oven or something. But they could have been more melty. But hey, I'm not going to complain. It was Domino's. I overpaid. I'm a dummy. The food was expected to be in the condition it was. It was all right. It was an all right time. Everybody was happy. Um, So, anyways, Saturday morning. This is where I was saying I was going to get all mixed up and backwards and here and there. Saturday morning. The reason I had to get back so soon on Friday night, or I just had to get back in town, was because I had a driving test with this new company. So I went to do the driving test. 9 a.m. 8:50. I was sitting over there on the DR, just trying to look cool and shit. And the old man showed up. He did a perimeter check, and then he came over and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? You got a truck, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I do got a truck. I got a truck. It ain't got no blinkers. It's fucking old, and you know what? Today I noticed it's got a fucking exhaust leak. It's got the exhaust cut off the motherfucker. So, but it was a pretty good. I mean, you just needed to weld after the cat. It's got no mufflers. It's just got a 2-into-1 catalytic converter, and then it's rusted off after that. It's just everything's missing. So, and I've been fine with the way it is, and I might be fine with this exhaust leak. I don't really give a shit if it sounds what it sounds like, you know. But anyways, yeah, I got a Silverado. That's all I said. I said, yeah, I got a Silverado at home. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, just saving on gas, and riding bikes is fun. He's like, yeah. So, anyways, went inside with him. His son eventually showed up, the boss man, and then we talked about everything. And I kind of go over. I'm like, hey, man, I'm still having, kind of second thoughts. I really want this job. I really, really do. I want to work for you. I want to be here. I want to drive these trucks. I want to haul equipment. I want this life. But I'm still having doubts on some shit. With the insurance problem. Because I think I've covered this, but they don't offer family insurance. They only offer insurance for the employee. And normally, all the other families that work for this company, their wives have a full-time job that they're on their insurance or whatever, so it works out. In my case, my wife is a stay-at-home, and I'm like, hey, that's a perk. Like, I have a stay-at-home wife, so I can always be at work. There's almost never going to be a reason I have to stay home. Unless I'm shitting and throwing up, I might try to stay home then. But other than that, I'm probably going to be here and ready to work every day. And he said, okay, cool. Well, let's get you ready for your driving test. They already got a copy of my medical card and my new medical card and my license. Everything's good with that. And yeah, hopped in the went out there and I pre-tripped the truck. It's I ended up doing a Kenworth. Sorry, I don't recognize the model, but it was a Kenworth truck hooked to probably a 53-foot removable gooseneck, and it had a sleeper on it. No, this one was a day cab. No, it had a sleeper. I didn't even really notice the sleeper sitting there. They don't have big ass sleepers. They're like single bunk sleepers or whatever. I don't know what you would call them, but they're smaller sleepers because it's not like you're living in the truck. It's just like every now and again you might need to stay the night in the damn thing. So, anyways, I'm going through. I'm pre-tripping the truck. You know, he's like keys are in it, doors are unlocked. Go over there, I crack the hood open. I start checking the oil, and it's a cat. And I've never had a cat engine. Everything has been Cummins, and I don't know if that dictates where the dipstick is, but I was like, oh, the dipstick, is the dipstick on the other side? He's like, yeah, it's on the other side. I was already giving him doubts right there. But I walked over there, got the dipstick, and then I was like, all right, coolant. And it's got a metal coolant tank, so you can't see the coolant level. So I hopped up on the tire and the bumper and opened up the cap. And I tried to look inside, couldn't see anything. So I stuck my finger down in there. I said, oh, we're low on coolant. He said, low on coolant? I was like, yeah. I was like, I can't touch any coolant in there. I don't know. I don't know how much, it needs room for expansion, but I don't know. On other coolant reservoirs, it's got minimum levels, marked on the side or whatever. I was like, but I think we need to add some because my finger's, not a super long finger, but long enough that I should be able to touch some of this fucking coolant. He's like, all right. So then we run over to the shed, and he's got all the barrels of all the fluids and stuff. Grab a jug of coolant, run it over there, dump it in there, and he's like, can you touch it now? And I'm like, yeah, I can. It touches my nail. He's like, all right. So that was good. And then I got the truck fired up, turned all the lights on. I had to ask him where like the chicken lights were because it's got chicken lights all over it. It's got all kinds of lights. And got them all found. And then walked through and I kicked all the tires. Their tires are pretty cool. Well, they're trailers. All their trailers are set up for, air on the go or whatever. They have the system on them. So I forget what it's called, but it's some sort of air. They never go flat unless they have a big fucking hole, I guess. So, yep, did the whole pre-trip and everything, and then I got the hood shut down, and then hopped up in there, and he's like, it's 18 speed. You can drive it as a 10 speed. I'm like, okay, I can do that. He's like, yeah, you just drive it like you would normally drive it. You got an extra lever. You can split each gear. You just got to let off the throttle. Flip that switch and let off the throttle. No clutch or nothing. Just flip that switch and it'll go from low side to high side in each gear. He's like, but we're unloaded, so you're not going to need that. So just run it as a 10 speed. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And yeah, hopped in there and felt at home in that fucking thing. Brought me back to. Well, I had a 10-speed Mac, but here where my current company, we do have one. It's a Freightliner. It's a fucking piece of shit truck, but it's got a 10-speed. And then we've got the 8-speed frac tank truck, the winch truck. But you're kind of cramped up in that motherfucker too. We don't really have any 10-speed trucks for combination trucks. We got a couple but they're all like 10-wheelers and whatnot. But anyways, getting in there and I felt at home, and the thing shifted so fucking smooth. Floating through the gears, everything. And then I was like, we got Jake brakes on our truck. Well, not Jake brakes, but we have engine brakes on our trucks. I was like, but I have a feeling this one is going to sound a lot better. He's like, you want to hear it? I was like, yeah. He's like, here. And he flipped the switch for me. He's like, let off. I let off. I'm like, oh, baby. He's like, you like that? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm driving plastic trucks, man. Over where I'm at, I'm driving plastic trucks, and they got heavily muffled fucking engine brakes. You know, you can hear them, but it just sounds like air. It doesn't. It ain't sounding cool like that. He's like, yeah, well, he's like, some of them are pretty muffled, but this one is pretty good, pretty nice. He's like, this is the truck I run all the time. I'm like, okay, cool. So, anyways, yeah, we just drove on the road, you know, took my corners wide. But see, this is the thing. It's like I train people how to drive 10 speeds. And I think I'm pretty good at running a 10 speed. So me being in the testing seat doing this, I felt as comfortable as I possibly could. So I'm over there. I got my spitter right there. I'm talking to him. I'm just shooting this. I'm like, so you've been driving since you could walk, probably? He's like, no, I was 18. We had a cattle farm over here. Blah blah blah. I was like, oh, so you hauled cattle? He's like, no, I wasn't hauling cattle. I never hauled cattle. I was hauled corn and other shit, you know, other crops and whatnot. And just started talking to him about all that stuff, and hey, you could tell he was comfortable with me driving. I was comfortable with driving. We get back to the yard. I park it exactly where he left it, and just chatting with him the whole time too. I'm not trying to like take his attention away from my driving, but you know, just showing him I'm comfortable in this thing. Like, you're not gonna have to worry. I'm not over here gripping the steering wheel, like, you know, trying to show him I'm going to do shit that I'm not going to do when I'm by myself. I'm just driving it like I normally would drive. And yeah, I got out of the truck and he didn't say anything. And we go inside. I was like, well, I hope I did well. He's like, you did wonderful. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, yep, you did really good. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I really like you. I'm like, I like you too. Like, I don't know, this man, he doesn't show his emotion until, you know, you're asking for it, I guess. I don't know. So, anyways, he really likes me. He's like, if I had to say, you're hired. You are straight up hired. I hope we can work something out with you. I'm like, all right, I hope so too. I was like, yeah. And I just was kind of talking to him. I kind of got down low, and I was like, you know, I don't know what I'm asking for here, but the insurance is really going to kill me. And I think that's going to keep me from taking this job. He's like, well, it's hard out here. I was like, well, if there was, I mean, I'm not over here trying to get rich off you guys. I'm not trying to scam nobody. But if there was any way, you know, especially since you guys are a smaller outfit right here, if there's any way you could help me out with this insurance, that would improve my odds of working here significantly. I was like, because currently right where we're at, I don't know, like, it's going to be, I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to accept a job and be unsure and then start working here and then realize that I can't work here anymore. I was like, I'm not here trying to grab a job from you and then quit later on. It does you no good. It does me no good. He's like, yeah, because you know, hiring people, you don't realize it's kind of expensive to hire somebody. So, you know, whenever we hire somebody, we want to make sure they're good. I'm like, yeah, and I don't want to get hired on and then find out 4 months from now that I'm in a hole that I can't dig myself out of unless I quit. So I don't want to be that guy. He's like, all right, well, what were you thinking? I'm like, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, but if you guys could front me some money, or not front me some money, but if you guys could help out each month, not week, but month with insurance. Whenever the insurance payment comes, if you guys could just help me out with, like, I don't know, $200 off of my insurance every month. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that would really help my chances of working here. I'm not trying to steal money from nobody. I'm just saying I've got a wife and 2 kids I gotta insure. And if I'm not gonna be able to insure them and also not make enough money, because I'm thinking once I start working here, I think it's gonna start paying more than I think. He's like, yeah, well, it could. He's like, I think you're gonna excel just fine. I think you're going to be starting hauling them heavy loads here real quick. You know, if you get hired on, you're going to start getting them high dollar loads. I'm like, that's what I'm after. I mean, I'll do whatever you want, but I'm after the money. But I want to earn it. And he's like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to my son. I'll talk to my wife. We'll see what we can figure out. Maybe we can work something out. So anyways, I go back home, and he ended up calling me a little bit later, and he said, "Hey, we did something a few years back to help out our employees, where if you make less than $1,400, you'll get $1,400. If you make more than $1,400, you'll make $1,400, and it's not something you got to repay or whatever." He's like, "But every single week you'll be guaranteed every week." You'll be guaranteed to get $1,400 on Friday. But most likely it's going to be more. So, but you know, if you were worried about not making enough money, we can guarantee it every week you're going to get $1,400. Would that help you out? I was like, that would 100% help me out, knowing that I'm not going to make less. You know, because if I show up and I make $800 one week, I'm fucked. So that definitely helps me out. He's like, okay. I was like, we're still running numbers. I'm gonna put that into the calculations, and I'm gonna sit here with my wife, and we're gonna figure it out. Anyways, we had another insurance guy call us, and he was worried about that $700 insurance plan that I was talking about. Obviously, everybody that's gonna call me about insurance is gonna say the other guy's fucking you. You should go with me. But I said, let me just see what this guy's got, you know, because that guy, I tried working with him, and I mean, we did work out a plan. It was going to be $700 a month, and that was the locked-in rate for 3 years. Now, this other guy, he's saying, I don't like that plan. I'm going to tell you why I don't like that plan, and he showed us, you know, I wouldn't say proof, but he showed us some of the things about the plan that we were talking about with this other guy, and he's like, your maximum out of pocket, you know, you don't know what that is. And with some of the plans that I can show you, I think I can get your rate lower, and I think we can show you that your maximum out of pocket is going to be much less. Oh, coming around. Okay. Just got passed by a tow truck. I'm doing the speed limit. I don't know what your problem is. I'm Has, man. So, anyways, it was a good choice, because once we hit this hill up here, I'm going to be doing 45 in the 60-mile-an-hour zone for a while, and you ain't going to be able to get around me because it's curvy. So, good on you. Good on you, truck driver. So, anyways, yeah, this other plan, I think I'm gonna take the insurance that the company is offering, and then I'm gonna get a separate plan for the kids and my wife, and that's gonna bring that cost down. The cost is roughly the same whether I take the insurance at the company or not. So, but it would be directly taken out of my paycheck, and then that one bill that shows up would be a little bit less. So I think we're going to still do it that way. But we're still working on things. You know, I'm getting kind of personal here with you guys. We're thinking about taking an equity loan out, and we're not even sure if we want to do that quite yet or not. But so the thing is, I've talked on here before, and maybe I've been a little naive on some things, but we do have debt. We actually have 3 credit cards. And I think I've talked on here before talking about how I ain't got nothing. But we have 2 secured credit cards. So my wife's got $200 limit. I got $350 limit. It's a secured credit card. It was just trying to help us build up our credit after a bankruptcy that we took that ended in April of 2024 was when we were done with the bankruptcy. So we were debt free. Everything was great. And then vacations kind of showed up and required us to, you know, through half of 2024 until now, we've been probably going on some vacations that we probably shouldn't have, and doing some things we shouldn't have. But you know, when the water heater breaks, you got to replace it. You know, we didn't have to replace a toilet, but we wanted to replace a toilet. I'm sorry, you know, we only got 2 of them. We gotta make sure one of them, you know, we gotta have 2. We gotta have 2 toilets, okay? So we got a new toilet and dishwasher. Yeah, our old dishwasher was all fucked up. Yeah, it was old. It was from when the house was built back in the 90s. So we got a few new appliances and we, you know, we're not paying cash for all this shit either. You know, we take out, well, it's not loans, it's just like payments. We're doing payments on all this shit. And then we did take out another credit card that's got, I forget how much it was. I don't feel like I need to tell you either way, but we took out another credit card to help with some expenses on that trip that I tried to get out of. I tried to say, no, we're not going on a cruise to Alaska. And then my stepdad said, we're going to pay for everything for you. You know, all the shit, most of the shit, we're going to pay for. But you guys are going to need to cover some of the stuff. I said, all right. But we ended up getting a credit card for that. And I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this, but at least we can enjoy the vacation with the kids. You know, they're going to want some stuff from some shops, and I just don't want to have to say no on all of them. We know, you know, I want them to enjoy the time and not just be like, yeah, we went to a lot of shops and we didn't get anything, you know. I want them to enjoy their vacation. So that's what we ended up doing. Anyways, I guess I could tell you probably the amount. Without my new car, my wife's new car that we got, it's probably $10,000 that we are currently paying in $800 increments every month, and it's getting out of hand. You know, we're not great with money, but I think $10,000 debt limit is not debt limit, but you know, $10,000 in debt. There's a lot of people out there that are way fucking worse. Okay. So, anyways, taking out a home equity loan is not ideal, but it is probably going to be the best way to get some money. Because if we eliminate, let's talk about this. If we're able to eliminate $800 a month in bills and replace it with a $130 increase on our mortgage payment a month, because that's all it's going to add. and that's for more than $10,000. I'll tell you that right now. That's for 25. We're taking damn near all the equity. So this is kind of our last resort right here. We got to get better, and we will. Um, Getting a higher paying job, eliminating all these bills. I think we're going to be able to afford the insurance just fine. Now, since I kind of put pressure on this new company, they already kind of guaranteed me $1,400 a week, so that's a bonus. Yeah, up until April, not past April. After that, if you make less than that, you're doing something wrong. Is what they kind of told me. Like you're a real fuck up if you're making less than $1,400 a week. You know, you're having some real problems. And that's another thing they said. They said if there are like complications or whatever, you know, they tell you go get a load, and for some reason you can't get the load or whatever, they'll help you out with it. They'll help you figure out something in order to make sure your paychecks are still rolling in. But guys, I think this is the moment. This is the week. This is the defining week right here. I mean, I got my wife. We're just making sure this loan is going to go through. You know, being in a bankruptcy and getting out of a bankruptcy. They said as long as you haven't been in bankruptcy within 2 years, and technically we have. So that's a problem. That's a big problem right now. So I don't know if we're even going to qualify for this home equity loan, or the rates are going to change and maybe it becomes, you know, not feasible. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions that we're going to get that quite yet. But if we get that loan, I'm calling up that company and saying, yep, we're doing it. I'm calling up the insurance guy. Here's your money. Get us set up on the insurance. And I'm calling my boss and saying adios. I'm, you know, not immediately. You know, I'll work. Hey, you know, well, and I ain't gonna say shit until after I get my bonus, also, because that's another thing. I got a bonus check coming. Do we know how much the bonus check is? No, we won't know till Wednesday. Wednesday at 3, we'll find out how much this bonus check is gonna be. Is it gonna be a decent one? I doubt it. I doubt it's gonna be over 1,000. And this is where I got to really get honest with myself, even though this is where I'm looking at something that I really want. This is what I want to do this. This is where, you know, maybe my gut could be wrong, and I got to really think about it, because, you know, if we end up getting this home refinance loan or whatever the fuck it's called, and I stay with this company, that's going to help out tremendously. We should be able to definitely save quite a bit of money, even if I stay where I'm at. So I'm kind of at a no-lose situation. But I don't know, guys. I think I'm done working here. I think I'm done with this. And it really sucks to say that, because I do like the job, but not all the time. And this other job, I think I'm going to like it all the fucking time. If I ain't strapping down a Caterpillar or Komatsu or something, if I ain't strapping down equipment and just driving it from here to there, you know, I think that's what I'm going to be happy with. And that's all that I'm going to be required to do over there, basically. You know, there might be some shit here around the shop or whatever, but I think they're going to give me an hourly rate for doing any other work other than, you know, if it's involved in just the truck and driving it from here to there. But if, you know, they're like, hey, we want to do some work at the shop or whatever, we'll pay you $35, because that's kind of the rate they're going off of for the PTO, and for the $1,400 minimum so I'd be basically making $35 an hour And if they need something else done here and there, I'll be up for it. Working on the weekends, extra shit, whatever it may be. $35 an hour, I'll do it. I think, I mean, maybe that is a thing. I don't know. They're not going to make me come in and do something for free. So, anyways, I think I'm on a right track here. Yeah, like I said, I got to think of the pros and the cons. And what are the pros at the current company I'm at right now? I know everybody. I'm pretty safe where I'm at. I get a bonus. I know what my paychecks are normally. I know I can get overtime. I get these jobs where I'm going to get per diem for the whole week. It's a bigger company, so I don't know. I don't even know what the benefit of a bigger company actually. I guess the insurance, but the insurance really, I mean, honestly, the insurance that I'm paying now is also pretty fucking high, and it's not good. Uh, I got my own thoughts on like the Ozempic shot and whatnot, but my wife has her own thoughts on the Ozempic shot, and she wants to do it, and we tried to do it. Our insurance just doesn't cover that. So, but I don't know if this other insurance does either. So, but I can tell you right now, this insurance definitely does not. That's a $750 a fucking capsule or whatever the fuck it is. That's expensive. They don't cover that shit at all. And going with more of a private insurance, I think I get more leniency whenever I want to go see a specialist or something. So if it ever does come to the time where they're like, you need to go get a sleep study done, instead of having to go from this doctor telling me I need a sleep study to go to my regular doctor to have him say, yep, you need a sleep study, and then go to the fucking sleep study place. I got to pay everybody on my way to the sleep study, and then the sleep study. Is that covered? Probably not. But with one of these plans that I was talking about, they were like, yeah, you can go see a specialist for without referral or whatever. So, and really, realistically, the only thing I want to go see and do, and it's still going to be a lot of money, but it could be less, is nasal surgery. I don't want a nose job. I just want, I don't know. I need something done to my fucking nose. It needs to be opened up more. I breathe heavy and I'm heavy. So it makes sense when you look at me, but honestly, I don't think I should be breathing as heavy as I do. I think I'm healthier than I am. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little fucking. I think if I could breathe better, I think I'd be better off. That being said, that would be either a sleeping machine, but in order for me to get a sleeping machine, it's going to be attached to my fucking license, and I don't want that. I really don't want that. So, anyways, getting nasal surgery is basically where I'm at, and I've wanted that for a while, and not even with the license stuff, job related stuff involved. It's just I think I'd like to see what they can do, opening up my nose a little bit more and bringing in more air, because bring more oxygen into my head. That would eliminate snoring. That would eliminate a lot of sleep apnea and whatnot. Which I don't know what sleep apnea. They're like, if you snore, you got sleep apnea. Okay, well, give me the fucking surgery. I don't want the fucking machine. I want fucking surgery versus a machine. I think the machines are cool. Everybody I've talked to that's got one of them machines say they're fucking awesome. You they're kind of they're a little bit to get used to, but whenever you get that really wonderful night of sleep with that machine on, just having oxygen pumped to your fucking brain, um, they say it's wonderful. You won't be able to sleep without the damn thing. And I'm like, I don't want to be in that situation either. You get me all addicted up to this fucking sleep apnea machine, and then I'm like, I can't, if the power goes out, or I forget my machine, or it fucks up or whatever, and I'm out on the road or something, and it's like, fuck, I can't sleep now. I ain't got my machine. I'm addicted to the fucking sleep apneas. So that's the thing. Well, there was another pro con I was thinking about. Oh, it would be, now this is a weird one, because if I'm hauling heavy equipment and I plan on hauling heavy equipment for a long time, keeping up with my hazmat might not need to happen. There's never going to be a time where I'm hauling hazmat, and it's not. So right now, the problem that I'm having is I want to add my motorcycle license on. And in order to do that, I have to retake my hazmat. And your hazmat expires, your license is going to expire quicker having a hazmat on, because you got to go in every however many years and get it redone. It's just a test. You already got the background check and everything, and you're in the system and whatnot. And it's nice to have, but if there's no need for it, I would have my motorcycle endorsement added onto my license right now, and I would lose my hazmat completely, and I wouldn't have to do anything about it. And now I would have to go through the whole hazmat process again if I decided to get another job doing hazmat. I would have to go through that whole fingerprint, background check, all that bullshit again, I think. But usually, if that's the case, then a company will hire you on and take care of all that for you. Or, I don't know. I don't know how much that exactly costs. My current company paid for all of it for me. But I mean, I didn't have it before now. And it just opens you up, and it should pay more. That's the thing that really fucking bothers me about the hazmat, is it should pay way more. And I'm currently a hazmat driver, and I'm thinking about leaving and going to this other place hauling heavy equipment for either the same amount of money or more, with no hazmat involved. The only good thing about the hazmat for this job is that my background check, you're going to be able to see a lot better. See more clearly my background check, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. It's probably going to be the same fucking thing. But yeah, I think hazmat should, hauling fuel, hauling oil, hauling a tanker. Regardless of anything, you should get paid more than what the market currently is at. Now, you never know. Maybe a couple years down the line, people are like, "Oh fuck, we need hazmat drivers, and we're willing to pay a fuckload for it." Maybe I'll come back, but the current market right now, hazmat doesn't pay much more than anything else, if at all. So fuck all that shit. Maybe fuck all that shit. Maybe, yeah, let's get rid of that fucking hazmat. And then all I got to do is go up there and take my motorcycle license. And then, all right, we're good. And then I go up there and they're like, all right, we're going to remove the hazmat. Your CDLAX is gone. Okay. See ya. Adios. CDLA with an M. Boom. Now I got my motorcycle license. That would be April of next year. Unless I can renew my permit one more time. I might do that just because my hazmat isn't going to expire anytime soon. I got until 2027, so I wouldn't get rid of my hazmat in April. But that's the thing. It's here. It's safe. We're good, and for a while. Um, and I want to be as sure as I can going to this new company. But there's always going to be, maybe there is something better around the corner. I would hate to do that to these people. I would hate to accept their job and then within 6 months I'm gone. That's not something I'm about. I'm not about that. I don't want my resume getting that much longer. I'm not over here trying to jump from job to job. I'm trying to look for a place where I can sit and not sit, but a place where I can be happy all the time. And I think that's what everybody's looking for. Now, this heavy hauling place, I don't know, but it's sounding pretty fucking good. It's sounding really good. He said, if you once you're in and you've been here for so long, by next spring, if you're not making $2,000 a week or more, you're doing something wrong. 17 to 18 or 17 to 2,000. You're doing something wrong, and that's okay. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm here. I don't see anything that's gonna hold me back from having a good time over there. I think I'm impressing them already, and I've only seen them, for probably an hour total. I've only known these people for probably an hour, and I'm already impressing them. I think I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna be a good guy. I'm gonna be able to chain down all this equipment. I'm gonna get it loaded up. I'm gonna hit the road, get to where I'm going, pack my lunch, try to get back into that, taking my lunch and stuff with me and making sure we're good to go. Hauling this heavy equipment around, I think that's going to be a good life. And they've got several people that have retired working there. So their company does do a 401k thing. In order to be eligible, you need to make at minimum $5,000 the year beforehand. So I would have to start now, and I would have to make $5,000 before January 1st, and then that would make me eligible, and then they do a 3% company match. So let's just hope if this is the path I'm going, I can do that, and I can get in on that 401k. I've been contributing to mine, and I still have one. I don't even know what the hell's going on with it. It's so cloudy on what's going on with my other one from my lumber job. When I was working at lumber, I still got money wrapped up in something over there. I hadn't transferred it out or something. It's like $4,500, which ain't much, but I didn't work there that long. So that's a nice little. I could cash it out or I could move it over. My wife obviously is like, cash it out. I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm retiring. I'm going to retire. If I have a choice in it, I'm retiring. Because she already cashed out hers. Whenever she quit her full-time job and started going part-time, she cashed hers out. I mean, it was to help out the family. It's something that we kind of needed, but we probably could have got by without it. And then she could have had that set up, I don't know. Later on in life, I guess she'll end up getting a full-time job and whatnot. But as of right now, with the age the kids are right now, it just doesn't make sense. So, hopefully everything will be all right. And I can retire. And still work, like the guys over there. They're retired, and they're still on call. They're not on call, but they're still going up there hauling loads for them. But I don't know. By the time I retire, what year would that be? Holy shit! All right, let's see. I'm 34. You gotta be 65 64, 64 and a half or whatever to retire. So I got another 30 years. 30 years plus 2025. 2055. 2055. The year 2055. I'll say, I think I'm ready to retire now. What? I don't know. It's hard for me to even believe that retirement and the way life works right now is even going to be imaginable by the time 2055 rolls around. That's fucking insane. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to upload this one for Monday here. And I think I got some special shit happening later on today. So stay tuned. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.